This is life coach Donna, and I'm here with one of my clients, Paul.
Carried a lot of weight from a very young age. My heaviest weight was close to 400 pounds. And using various techniques to try and lose it, I came to believe that the biggest thing that was holding me back was my personal beliefs about myself. So I started doing some research about that, and how is it that you change beliefs about yourself? And in the process of doing that research, I found Dr. Joe Dispenza. And then I did a little bit more, and I found you here in town, someone trained by him to teach his techniques. And on top of that, you were doing the dating coaching, which just fit in perfectly what I wanted to do.
Okay.
And we obviously set about changing some of those core limiting beliefs I had, which were quite extensive. It's been pretty phenomenal. I've lost 150 pounds because of the weight I hadn't dated in many, many years, and I have
It was over 20 years.
Yeah, it was over
correct?
20 years. Yeah.
And that was because of your thinking that what woman would just want to be with me?
Yeah, exactly.
You shared
Exactly.
So.
When you're that big, it really can have an effect on your self-esteem and your confidence and all. So I have a wonderful girlfriend now, pretty much thanks to you.
Okay. And one of the ways I want to share with people listening to this, we did mental rehearsals where I taught you how to meditate and go ahead of the actual experience. So before you knew what it was like to have a current girlfriend, we had you rehearse that. Explain how that helped build up your confidence.
Well, I found myself in situations and meeting women where I would just not even take the steps forward to do anything. So going in and doing the mental rehearsals, the meditations, imagining ahead of time that I would be successful at it, that what would it feel like to have a loving girlfriend? What would it feel like to have great dates? It just prepared me for the actual events.
Yes.
And we linked it with a very powerful positive emotion many times. And I remember the gorge meditation was just incredible. That was the first time when I really realized the power of meditation and mental rehearsal.
And that is exactly when you can rehearse the actual experience ahead of it actually occurring in your life, such as having a girlfriend when you didn't even know what she looked like because she wasn't in your life yet. You literally, your brain doesn't know the difference that it's not in your life. So I also want or share with people that you also smoked when you first hired me. You still were a smoker for many years. And if you can just share a little bit how or working with me helped break that habit.
Smoking is a really tough one to get over. I tried many, many times, smoked for quite a number of years. And to be able to really get the feeling of what would it be like to be able to go out and, say, ride my bike without panting, without running out of breath. What would it be like to be able to hike in the gorge? All of those things that when it came down to make the decision, am I going to get smoke or am I going to not smoke? It had just the backup energy I needed to. It was kind of like a little bit of wind behind my back. And yeah, it was great. It really worked well.
You've been a delight to work with because you do the work. So if there's any piece of advice that you can give to somebody, when you think back to when you had the extra weight and you wanted a different life, what advice could you give somebody that's in your shoes now that wants to make a change? Because change is hard. In going out and hiring somebody and doing the work, what words of wisdom and advice could you give them?
Well, there's a couple things. One is if you're trying to do something on your own and it hasn't worked, why not bring in someone who can help you? The whole idea of self-help, I like that, but self-help with a little extra guidance I've found works much better. So if you can find a resource to help you, I highly recommend doing it. I think I had kind of been at a plateau for about a year and a half trying to get to my target weight. And I hit that about 3 months after starting with you. It was just the extra boost that I needed to do it.
Okay, great. Well, thank you for your time.
You're welcome.
And appreciate it.
Certainly.